The shelter had a list. It was not a list anyone liked to talk about, but every animal welfare facility has one. A list of animals who had been there too long, animals who had stopped eating, animals who had stopped hoping. Maverick's name had been on that list for 3 weeks. He was 2 years old, he had no front legs, and on a Monday morning in March, a shelter volunteer walked to his cage with a clipboard. She did not look him in the eyes. What happened next was not a miracle. It was not the right person at the right time. It was one ordinary woman who almost didn't come, who almost turned back at the door, who later said quietly that she had no idea why she kept walking. She just did. And the moment she turned down the back hallway, the moment she saw him, something in her chest locked into place, like a door she had forgotten she had, finally, after a very long time, opening. Maverick had been born with no front legs, not injured, not amputated, born that way. His litter came from a stray cat found behind a hardware store in Ohio. A kind family took the kittens in. They kept the others. They brought Maverick to a shelter. They were not cruel people. They just didn't know what to do with a kitten who couldn't walk like other kittens. The shelter staff called a specialist. The specialist said Maverick would adapt, that cats born with limb differences find their own way of moving, that he would learn to balance on his haunches, that he would be just fine. They were right. By 4 months old, Maverick could cross a room faster than most four-legged cats. He moved in a rocking, rolling motion, back legs pushing, body tilting forward, head held high. It looked like nothing you had ever seen before. It was absolutely extraordinary. But adopters didn't see extraordinary. They saw difficult. They saw vet bills. They saw a cat who might fall, who might struggle, who might need too much. He was returned twice in his first year, once after 3 days, once after 2 weeks. The first family said something about watching him move made them nervous. They couldn't explain it. The second family tried harder. They bought special ramps, a low-sided litter box. They took videos of him crossing the kitchen floor. For 2 weeks, he was a novelty. Then the novelty passed, and Maverick was just a cat with no front legs, who needed more patience than they had planned for. Each time, the shelter staff welcomed him back with soft voices and extra food. Each time, Maverick rocked back to his cage, head up, eyes forward, as if he had never expected anything different. That was the hardest part to watch, not the returns, the way he carried them. After the second return, the shelter moved him to the back section, quieter, less foot traffic, the place where animals stayed the longest. Months passed. Volunteers sat on the floor outside his cage and let him sniff their fingers. He was never aggressive, never withdrawn. He would press his forehead against the bars and purr. But purring doesn't appear in an adoption listing, and a cat with no front legs is a hard photograph to explain. By the time he had been there 14 months, the shelter was running out of space. New animals came in every week. Hard decisions had to be made. His name went on the list on a Monday. The volunteer who wrote it down cried in her car afterward. She had known Maverick for 11 months. She had sat on the floor outside his cage more times than she could count. She had watched him greet every new visitor with the same open, steady gaze. Every single one, even the ones who laughed, even the ones who took out their phones to film him and never came back. She told her friend that night, "He just sat there looking at me, like he already knew, like he had already forgiven us." The appointment was set for the following Tuesday, 7 days away. On Thursday, a woman named Claire walked through the front door. If you're still with us right now, please hit subscribe. These are the stories the world almost never tells, and they deserve to be heard. Don't miss what happens next. Claire was 36 years old. She had recently moved to a new city after her marriage ended. New apartment, new routine, and a hollow kind of loneliness she had learned to live around. She had driven past the shelter 3 times in the last month. On Thursday morning, she finally parked the car. She told herself she was just looking. The staff member showed her the front rooms first, young cats, playful cats. She smiled, kept walking. She turned down the back hallway, and there was Maverick, sitting up on his haunches in the middle of the cage, perfectly balanced, head tilted slightly to one side, green eyes wide and completely steady. She stopped. She crouched down slowly. He rocked forward to meet her fingers, pressed his forehead against her hand, and began to purr. She asked the staff member how long he had been there. 14 months. She asked why no one had taken him. The staff member paused. Most people see what's missing first. She looked at him for a long moment. What do they see second? The staff member smiled. If they stay long enough, everything else. Claire stood up. I'll take him. She did not know about the list. She did not know about Tuesday. She found out 3 weeks later when the volunteer called to check on him. Claire sat very still on the phone when she heard it. Then she said quietly, "He waited 14 months. 3 more days and I would have been too late." She did not sleep well that night. She kept thinking about the clipboard, about the Monday morning, about all the Thursdays that could have been different. She thought about the 14 months he had spent in that cage, greeting every stranger who passed, pressing his forehead to every hand that came close, never giving up on the next person. He had never stopped believing someone would stay. Maverick slept on the foot of her bed, completely unbothered, like a cat who had always known exactly how this story would end. Maverick came home to a small apartment in Seattle. He learned the layout in 2 days. He claimed the couch on the third. He learned that Claire worked at the desk by the window, that if she rocked across the floor and sat beside her chair, she would always reach down. Always. He never missed. Claire told a friend 6 months later, "I went there thinking I was rescuing him, but every morning I watch him cross that floor. No front legs, head up, never stopping. I think he's the one rescuing me." Some lives are defined by what they are missing. Some are defined by what they refuse to lose. Maverick never learned to feel sorry for himself. He just moved forward, the only way he knew how. If you are waiting for the right conditions to begin again, if you are telling yourself that you're missing something you need before you can start, look at Maverick. He never had the right conditions. He never waited for them. He just pushed off with what he had and crossed the room. Every single day. Maverick is 3 years old now. He still claims the couch. He still meets Claire at the desk every morning. And sometimes when she is having a hard day, he rocks across the floor, sits beside her chair, and presses his forehead against her hand. The same way he did on the first day. Like he has always known exactly what she needs. Maybe he has. Would you have walked past Maverick, or would you have stopped? Tell me honestly in the comments below.